stadium. We no go gree.
We no go gree. No go gree. We no go gree.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once more. My name is Adam. We are here to do a preview of the Nigeria versus Zimbabwe game. But before I jump into it, Chanana Seram, I want to ask you a very quick question. Who is your favorite player in the Super Eagles team?
For me, Victor Osimhen.
Why?
Oh, I just like the guy. The guy is just dedicated to whatever he's doing. And when it comes to goals to Charlie, I think the whole Africa now number one. When it comes to number one striker.
The whole Africa.
Yeah, number one. I'm saying striker because you know Salah is there, whether you like it, but number one striker, number 9, Senior Man Osimhen.
Saram.
Oh, I think I'll go in for Ola Aina.
Why?
Even though Osimhen is doing fantastic, but I like his dedication to the game. You see, whenever Nigeria is playing, you see that he's all over the game. He's giving his all to the national team. So I like Ola Aina a lot. For
me, I'm going for Boniface. I know what people are going to say. I just like his personality. He's a very funny guy. Watch him always on IG, social media. Aside football, the content is A1. And guys, I want us to talk about the game. Now, before we jump into it, you can also add your inputs down below in the comments. We are Ghanaians. My name is Adam. Chanana Seram here. The last time they said we should take other names from other tribes, so we shouldn't take only Igbo names.
Okay. So yeah, I'll use Kayode.
Kayode, Seram.
Kayode. You are using Kayode.
Yeah.
They said
no, maintain Victor Boniface because you look like Victor Boniface.
Okay. Okay, so now you guys can call me Boniface Jr. You know?
So guys, I'm still going to maintain the Adam. So because I heard it's also a Nigerian name. So let's go into the game. Now, Nigeria are going to face the Zimbabwe, and let's talk about Zimbabwe because their last game, they played against Benin. What they did in that game was quite surprising because they were 2 goals down, and then they fought their way up, equalized that game, and the scoreline was 2-2. Yeah. In fact, they were the reasons why Benin dropped points. They are going to face Nigeria. What do you think Nigeria has to do different to beat Zimbabwe?
You see, Zimbabwe just sent out a nice message in Nigeria that if you are playing them, you have to be focused for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have to lose concentration because being 2-0 down away from home, everyone would have thought that they would have lost the game, but they end up drawing the game. That should tell you their mental fortitude. That should tell you that they will not be sitting down. Well, even though they will be losing, they will give their all. So Nigeria has to map up a strategy. When they are leading, they have to be fully concentrated. You know that the game is not done and dusted because these people have proven beyond that no matter their scoreline, since the 90 minutes is not over, they are not going to sit down at all. So let's hope the players will know they should be well prepared, mentally prepared for the game.
So the last time Zimbabwe played against Nigeria, the scoreline was 1-1 draw. We understand there is a new coach. What do you think Eric Sakwishal is going to do different this time?
Oh, for me, I think that the approach he used against Rwanda, it should be I'm not saying it should be the same, but it should be similar. Similar in the sense that it should be good. Let the players feel comfortable, understand them, approach the game so well as it needs to be approached, and then everything will be okay for them. All right.
So guys, let me know what your thoughts down below in the comment. Do you think Eric Sakwishal is going to change or stir up something nice to help Nigeria beat Zimbabwe? But then I have certain concerns from the previous game Nigeria played against Rwanda, and I believe those things need to be addressed. Now it might be the coach's own decision, but then I feel like these things need to be talked about. First of all, against Rwanda, some players were played out of position. And I feel like as a player, you play your natural position, you play to the best of your ability. Immediately you start playing other positions. You are going to try, but then you will not play like the way you play your natural position. Now I'm talking about Ola Aina, who is a right back, but he was used as a left back in that game. Yeah. In that game, Brighton Said did not do too bad, but I felt like Ola Aina should have played the right back. Then Bruno Onyemaechi, who is a left back, who was sitting on the bench, should have come into the game. But all the same, Nigeria picked up 3 points. But you're going to face another opponent who is coming into your home. Do you want to experiment again with that? So let's say you're in Eric Sakwishal's shoes. Are you going to repeat the same thing? Are you still going to play Brighton Said Samuel at right back and play Ola Aina at left back? Are you going to do that?
Because right now, I'm not going to do that. I'll play Ola Aina at right back and bring Onyemaechi at left back, because you don't want a situation that you go and put Aina at left back and he's going to have a bad game. Then now who are you to blame? You are blaming yourself because you put him there, because that's not his best position. And for Samuel Osai, it's not let's say it's not on the best of form, like say it's undroppable. I remember the time when Brazil used to have Daniel Alves and Maicon. That time those two were one of the best right backs. So if a coach can play Maicon at number 2 and Daniel Alves at number 3, it's understandable because it was hardly to drop one of them. But Osayi is not on the highest form yet. Because at Fenerbahce, he's not playing,
he wasn't even
playing and stuff. So I think Aina has cemented that position. So I don't know why the coach wants to improvise. So just put him there and and you have a left back. It's not that you are short of left back and say there's no one there. So since you have a left back who is also doing well, put him there for them to play the ball. Because we don't want to come and hear stories later that you go and blame me. That's not my best position. That's why I had the bag. We don't want that. Because now Nigeria can't draw points. Because immediately they drop point, I tell you, it's very deadly for them. They should forget about qualifying for the World Cup.
Sarah.
Okay, so from what my brother has said, putting away the results against Rwanda, they won the match. So we can give the coach the benefit of the doubt
for taking that risk.
Yes, but okay. I mean, going into subsequent games, I mean, we wouldn't want to see this. And then there's exception to this. There are other players who are utility players. They can play here and then play very well. So if that is the case, fine. But with Ola Aina, I mean, I've not seen him at a left back. I mean, before. So going into subsequent game, we would then treat Eric Sekushaw to maintain players in their rightful position so that we can get the best out of them, the 100% out of them. So that after losing a game, no player will come out and say that you didn't play me in my position, because players are noted for giving excuses like that. You understand? So I think Eric Sekushaw must work on this as well.
Alright, so I've heard you. Now I want us to talk about this. There are a lot of South Africans on social media saying that Nigeria only won against Rwanda based on new manager bounce. Now, for my own perception, new manager bounce is very, very important for a team. Everybody wants to impress the new coach. But my own take is that against Zimbabwe, you need more than new manager bounce. You need some level of, seriousness to perform in that game. Do you agree with South Africans when they say Nigeria only won against Rwanda because of new manager bounce and it's not going to work against Zimbabwe? Do you agree with that?
For me, that's totally wrong. Because when we take South Africa and even Nigeria, who has the better players? Nigeria have far better. It's just that football.
I'm not talking about
I'm not trying to say that when it comes to players to play a good football and other things, Nigeria is ahead of South Africa.
But as they say, big names don't win matches.
Yes, that's why. So if you are trying to tell me that new manager, but I mean, it's like Nigeria is not a good team. And they are riding on a new. Nigeria is already set the last AFCON. They went to the
the AFCON was good, but
they went to the
South
final.
Africans are talking based on the fact of how they have performed so far in the World Cup qualifiers. You understand? They have drawn about 3 games and then lost 1. That's right. Before they won against Rwanda.
So maybe they've gone through a bad patch. But if you say new manager bounce, you see more time when people say new manager, it's about teams that maybe are not doing that well. But a new manager comes in and you see them within the next 2-3 games, they win and they go back to factory settings. But Nigeria is not like that. We just know that they had a bad spell during the qualification.
You have said exactly the same thing. They had a bad spell. There's a coach. They played well in their first game.
Okay. So they will continue from that because the team was good already before that bad spell. Nobody expected Nigeria to go to the qualifier because of their performance at the last ended AFCON. Everyone expected them to win. But we didn't know what was going to happen. And they gave that 4 games, they lost 1 and drew 3. So now, as a new coach has come, maybe you bring a new confidence in them, tell them that you guys can do it. You have done it before. This is not the first time, so you guys to do it. So I don't buy what the South Africans are saying.
Sarah, what do you think of what people are saying that the new manager bounce only worked for Nigeria against Rwanda and it might not work again for them against Zimbabwe?
Okay, so for me, you see, in as much as new manager bounce is a factor that enhances team performance sometimes, I totally disagree with what the South Africans are saying, because ask yourself, why do we change coaches? We change them because things are not going on well with my team. That's why I go in for a new coach. So a new coach has come. And then ideally, we are all expecting him to do well. We are all expecting Nigerians to win matches. And then he's on course. He's doing everything right. The goal wasn't won by a Malam goal or by an own goal. They played football and then they won the game. So I totally disagree with what the South Africans are saying. And then for me personally, I am hoping to see more of what Eric Sekushaw did against Rwanda.
So for me, let me take on this case. For the new manager bounce, it works for teams, especially if they have to impress the new coach. Because when there's a new coach, there's a new law. It's start afresh for everyone. Everybody wants to impress. So normally, most of these players play very well to impress the coach. Now against Zimbabwe, you want to maintain same level of performance. Even more than that, So that it won't be like it's just what 1 day wonder or 9 day wonder.
A
as they
flash
say
in
it.
the pan.
Yeah. So you want to maintain the same level of performance because Zimbabwe themselves, they are coming in with a renewed energy after their draw against Benin. They also believe that if they can get another draw or maybe a slim win against Nigeria, it also helps their case. So for me, the players shouldn't be complacent. It shouldn't be like, oh, there's a new manager, we performed in one game, it's okay. No. Same level of performance should be in the game against Zimbabwe. Now let's take on another thing that I feel like we should talk about: goal distribution. Victor Osimhen scored 2 goals in a previous game. In my own opinion, I feel like it's good, but it has its downside. Imagine Victor Osimhen has a bad day in a game. Imagine Victor Osimhen getting injured, or imagine Victor Osimhen be heavily marked by the opponent. Who else scores the goal? That is the problem. So goal distribution in the team is very important. Looking at the situation Nigeria are in now, Chanana,
Yeah.
do you think the coach should set up some rules, some plans, some tactics to help other players contribute when it comes to goal scoring?
You see, the truth of the matter is the performance of the team is solely based on the coach. Because with the amount of talent that Nigeria are having now, anything goes on is the coach because he has the talent to work with. So he has to map up a strategy that is going to create a lot of chances for the players to also other players to also be able to score. Because we saw the game against Rwanda, most of the 2 goals I'll tell you is based on strikers' instinct and a good performance from Osimhen. Mm-hmm. If it was another player, another striker, those 2 goals wouldn't have happened. Yeah. So if it didn't happen, what next? Mm-hmm. You understand? Because Osimhen took also have an off day, which is normal for strikers.
Strikers, yeah.
They can have an off day. You can score 5 today and the next day.
Imagine you are the best player in the team. The opponent will mark you.
They'll mark you out. So
yeah.
there are some games that you can have an off day. So you have to mark a strategy. When you have an off day, then other players can also contribute. Sometimes defenders also score. So the coach, that one that I think is barely so on the coach to sit down and map up a strategy so that the team will not solely be relying on Victor Osimhen. Because when you rely on one player, I tell you, it's going to be a big problem for the team.
You see, with this, it will be very, very heartbreaking to know that Nigeria lost a match because Osimhen had a bad day or because he was injured. And then, like, the idea will be like, but we have Ademola Lookman, we have Boniface, we have Chukwueze. So why didn't we win the match? So Eric Sekushel, please, I am begging you, do your tactics well, work on your tactics. Let the players understand that. And then these players are even good finishers. They are fantastic finishers. When you check their records from their club team, they are doing very well. See Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, Chukwueze, and then
will be playing box to box.
Exactly.
Has scored a lot of goals.
And then even Iwobi, he knows how to score goals. He can also contribute to goal scoring. You understand? So I think the coach should understand this, that there shouldn't be a situation where Nigeria will lose a match because Victor Osimhen wasn't present or had a bad day. So they should work on it. We are not saying they should be selfish, but when they have the chance, they should also score so that they can have that confidence, they can have that boost that we can also do something without Victor Osimhen. And then, as my brother said, defenders can also score. Sometimes when there's a corner kick, that's what they mostly do. Corner kicks or set pieces, they come in and then try to, go with the headers and yeah.
So guys, you have heard from Saram and Chanana. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. I just want to add this. The responsibility is not only for the coach. The players also need to be clinical. Because you can create chances, and if you are not converting them, you are not contributing to the goal distribution. So it's very important that these players, as many as chances that are created in the game, you convert them so that you also contribute to the total tally of goals that will be scored in that game. Now, let's talk about this, which is very, very important. Do you think Eric Sekushel should maintain the same formation, the same players he used in the game against Rwanda, and use the same copy and paste and do it against Zimbabwe?
No, I think you should do some changes.
Some changes?
Yeah.
Which changes do you want to see?
Maybe Olaina going back to his natural position and Oyemechi coming inside. And for me, Moses Simon, I think you should take Moses Simon out and put what is the name? Oyedeka. Yeah, you should put him, the club bridge player, you should put him there so that the team will be a bit solidified. In defense, in defense, so it will be more balanced. Because you realize that if Rwanda were a good attacking team, they would have given Nigeria problems because the team was not balanced enough. Right. So that's what I want him to do.
So guys, you have heard from Chanana. Let me ask Seram this. As Chanana said, a lot of people would argue that Nigerians' biggest strength is in their forwards. Do you think the coach should resort to playing a more confined defensive, like double pivot kind of game, as compared to playing a more attacking formation kind of game against Zimbabwe?
So I think it'll all be dependent on how the game must be approached. You get me? Because we can't sit here and say that the coach should make changes to his initial lineup or he shouldn't make changes, he should maintain. Because we don't know. You see, one thing people don't understand is that it is to coaches how a country's economy is to the government. You understand? The coach, everything is in your hands. You have to know your opponent, know the tactics they are coming in with. So if the tactics demands that he maintains his initial lineup, we spectators, we can't say much because we know that you want the best for the team. You understand? So I think the coach must approach the game as to how the opponent are coming into the game.
Let me help you there. New opponent, new plan, as simple as that. You can't use the same thing. You'll be too predictable. As for me, I feel like things need to change. Formation-wise, tactics-wise, probably even line up, whatever it is. Just do whatever you have to get 3 points. As simple as that. Don't do things that will put you in a compromising situation. Now, lastly, let's talk about the 12th player. Now, the 12th player is the fans. It's very important that the fans come to the stadium. And if they don't come to the stadium, Nigeria will be playing without a very important factor. Now, the players can do whatever they have to do. But if the fans are not there to cheer them up, to even scare Zimbabwe themselves, it would be like they are playing an away game. Yeah. So, guys, I want you to speak to the fans who will be watching and let them know that they have to be at the stadium to watch this particular game and cheer the players up.
The fans, they are telling them, we are begging them. See, Zimbabwe is not a big country. If you come and intimidate them, it will affect their performance greatly. That is the truth.
They have to come to the stadium.
Zimbabwe is not a Ghana, it's not a Morocco, it's not a Senegal. They have their big players. They don't have any big player here. It's just that they have a good team. So if you intimidate them well by the fans shouting on them, singing down your songs, I tell you, they can't even string 5 or 6 passes together. We'll beat them.
We no go agree.
We no go agree. I no go agree. We no go agree.
Sarah, talk to me.
See, the fans should understand one thing: home advantage. Why do we say home advantage? We say home advantage because of these factors. That it is your home soil. Your fans are more than the away team.
Yeah,
you understand? So Nigeria, it is something that has happened. That is why against Zimbabwe we will come and then have a breakdown because. In times past,
on paper, we need not to say anything.
So like we come here drinking yogurt,
and then so Nigeria, and then one thing I know for sure, you have a population of about 230 million, and I don't think any African country has a population close to Nigeria's number. So I beg you, fill the stadium. See, fill the stadium, even on the touchline. We should see people there. When the Zimbabweans get the ball, you guys should shout, sing the video song, sing Burna Boy song, sing Whiskey song, let them run.
Get patient.
No, they should understand.
Get patience.
You see, that is no. Let me let them understand. That is the home advantage. I beg you, people. That is the home advantage. So do it for me.
So, guys, you have heard from Sarah Menchan, and I want to just add this. No, the game will be played like on the working day, right?
Yeah.
Time is 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. Nigeria time. I know most people will go to work, so this is a petition to the bosses, the government, close them as early as possible.
President Ola Tinubu.
Yeah, they should go to the stadium, close these workers, schools. Teachers, workers, close them early so that they can go to the stadium, watch this game, enjoy the win. I mean, it's 3 points in the bag for Nigeria.
It's like you remember when Ghana was hosting the AFCON, you were in school. When it's 2 o'clock now, they'll close you, then go home and go and watch the ball.
Yes. So, guys, this is where we are going to end it. Make sure to watch our next video. We are going to give you the strongest starting lineup Nigeria is going to use against Zimbabwe. So, this is where we are going to end it. My name is Sedem. Which name did you even pick?
I said, I'm Chinedu, aka Kayode.
Kayode. Victor Boniface.
Yes.
So, guys, we'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.